phone too.
Where's that?
Yeah.
All right, Shalom, Shalom. The Real Hebrew Israelites coming to you week in, week out. Prophesy the downfall of America and teach the hopeful elect. First thing we want to do is give all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Bahashem,
Yahweh Shai,
Bahashem, Rakat Wadash.
Double honor to the apostle, elders, great millstone. And salutations to you brothers pushing this word with true sincerity and with charity. All right. So,
basically, I forget the guy's name, but this asshole. Did you name a video like that? Response to an asshole?
Nah.
Oh, cause that's what this is, man. It's response to an asshole. All right. Just using great claims of speech, man. Hey, it says in Isaiah 28, we will mock, we will deride. You know, that's that stammering. Basically, his doctrine is actually confusion. Yeah, at one point he's saying Miriam and different people in the scriptures that got leprosy got turned pale. They go to say Israel never waxed pale, the seed was never mingled amongst the heathens. That then he was saying that Jake was getting turned white and they never was turned black. It was weird as fuck, man. Watch the video. It's really silly. But we're gonna go into the confusion of facing. We're gonna tell you the right way of things, man. Who cares what the scoffer is saying? Hey, a fool master and cartwheel. They all over the place. We're gonna tell you the right way concerning the things he mentioned. All right, so we're gonna go into the confusion of face. And we're going to touch, Lord willing, we're going to touch on Isaiah 29:22. All right, giving the proper understanding to it, man. So, you got Ezra or Daniel?
I got the Daniel. I can hear Ezra.
I got the Daniel. Okay, go ahead. Get the Daniel. Maybe you got something to bring out real quick?
No, go ahead.
This Daniel's 9:7. It says, O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us confusion of faces as at this day. To the men of Judah, and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and unto all Israel that are near.
Right, and you know what? That's something that God did say. It's like a confusion to face out to everybody, not just northern kingdom. What about the Jews? Look, all Israel is scattered abroad, man. The southern kingdom as well, the Jews as well, man. There's Jews that look like gooks out there. All right, but nevertheless, even all Israel is suffering confusion to face. Let's go into the word confusion. You getting already?
That's what I'm saying. This is that's Daniel's 9 and 7.
What for that language?
Just to back the brother up, because he said it's some Jews that look like basically Chinese and Japanese, which is Moab and Ammon.
Did you just want to got Isaiah? That's good.
It's Isaiah 16:4. Let my outcast dwell with thee, Moab. Be thou a covert to them from the face of the spoiler.
And who's the outcast?
Israel. All right. Okay. Well, Isaiah 11:12. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth.
So all of us, man, we scattered every fucking one. So different tribes look like different nations. All right. And some of you fucking tribes look like Hamites. So it ain't about just looking like Edomites or looking like fucking Conor McGregor, man. No, man. You look like a damn Hamite. You look like a goop. You look like an Ishmaelite, Elam. We every fucking what? Plain and simple. Hosea 8:8. Israel is swallowed up amongst the Gentiles, man. All right. What is Revelation 7 going into that innumerable multitude from all the nations, man? That ain't talking about actual fucking heathens. That's talking about Israelites from amongst those nations. And the majority of them gonna look like heathens, man.
I was just meditating on that. I was thinking in my head, why did John didn't recognize it?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? He said, Lord, who are these? He said, thou knowest. You know, the angel asked him, who are these? He said, shit, thou knowest. You know?
Exactly.
I had one just on that point real quick. Acts chapter 2 and verse 5, it says, and there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men, out of every nation under heaven. So that's right. It's going to be Israelites that are going to be coming out of all these other nations. Now they're going to look like some of these other nations, man. It's just simple, man. All right, our people scatter amongst these other people, and then what they do? They pop their women. That child is going to carry on some of the characteristics of that heathen woman, man. And that's just plain.
Hey, just like in today's society, this is how it was back in the day. when you thought you got up on some level, you dealt with the women of those nations. I mean, Jake do a period, but especially when they get on a certain level. What they say today, you get rich, nigga get rich, you get a white woman. So back when it was in Babylon, nigga got rich, you got him a Syrian woman, man. You know, even though Jake is gonna pop heathen women, period, but especially when you got that status, you dealing with their women. That's part of the status. It's that simple. You completely assimilate, man. That's the thing. All right, we got. You got something else to that? Or you getting confused?
Kind of. I'll just read this point too. In verse 8, Acts chapter 2 and verse 8, jumping down, it says, "And how hear we every man in our own tongue, wherein we were born." It says Parthians and Medes and Elamites and the dwellers in Mesopotamia and in Judea and in Cappadocia and Pontus and Asia, Phrygia and Pamphylia and Egypt and in the parts of Libya about Cyrene and strangers of Rome, Jews and proselytes. And it continues to go into a list of various nations, man. But this is even way back then, during the time after the Messiah was crucified, man, that our people were scattered amongst all these people. And this says that what? Where they were born, man. So they were born in these lands. They slept with their women and everything like that, man. And it's just simple, man. You know.
And you know what else? Even those men right there, if they all look like the typical Jew, all right, a dark-skinned Negro, they still, in a sense, suffer, because Daniel said himself suffered confusion of face. He was a captive. They suffered confusion of face, man. They was in these heathen lands. They spoke what? Heathen languages. All right? That's part of the confusion as well. It's not just a physical thing. A physical thing is one aspect of it, but it's more to it. It's just being in captivity alone, being judged alone. The scriptures say what? The Lord brings forth his judgment every day, but the wicked know of no shame. When the Lord brings judgment, that's to your shame. That's you got to, I humble it down. I fucked up. I did this wickedness. That's why I'm going through this hell. Damn, I fucked up. All right, being in captivity is a shame, period. That's confusion of face, man. We shame-faced. We fucked up. We did wickedness. We all got our set judgments that we dealing with because we fucked up.
And that's one thing that they can't understand. When you read the book of Wisdom of Solomon, it tells you that wisdom is manifold. You know what I'm saying? Right. So all these cats that coming against the confusion of face, they break down one aspect of it, which we not telling you wrong by the way you break it down. That goes into that. It's true. But guess what leads to that? Also, our children coming out looking like these other nations, man. That's a part of that confusion, man. That's right. That's a part of that shame that the brother is speaking of, you know? But you got to be a spiritual man in order to receive that, man, you know?
And it's even bugged out because he brought out the example of Miriam, you know, having that pale skin.
You got to get it.
Okay, you got it. Okay,
I got it.
John, real quick, can we hit this definition of shame so we confusion so they can know what shame is?
Oh, yep, I got that.
Power, you got it.
Okay.
This definition of confusion is shame or a shameful thing, you know. And then it says the feeling and the condition as well as it is caused.
Right, the feeling and condition. All right, so the feeling, you know, just being ashamed because I'm in this shit because I fucked up, but also the condition of just being there. So even us in this truth, we all confuse the faces, man. Daniel said it. We all got humbled down before the Lord, bear the indignation of the Lord, like it says in Micah. We're all suffering confusion of face. All right, we all wearing different fucking fabrics and clothing and shit. We all speaking this wicked ass, bugged out language. Right. We don't even speak the Hebrew perfectly, man. That's a fucking shame. That's what Nehemiah was mad about, man. That's a fucking disgrace. That's why we need Yahweh Shai to come deliver us, man. That's why Daniel included himself in that confusion of face. Jeremiah 17:4, thou even thyself, even Jeremiah shall discontinue from thy heritage, man. The Lord really brought us low.
And that's a shameful thing when you don't know your identity, man. You don't know who you are. That's a shameful thing, you know. So,
jumping into that Daniel's. This is Daniel chapter 9 and verse. Salaki, you started off with that, right?
Yeah,
Did you finish on that?
9 and 7. I was just read 9, 7 and 8.
Con, you can go back to this one.
This is Daniel 9:7. O Lord, righteous belongeth unto thee, but unto us confusion of faces, as at this day, to the men of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and unto all Israel that are near and that are far off, through all the countries whither thou hast driven them, because of their trespass that they have trespassed against thee. O Lord, to us belongeth confusion of face, to our kings, to our princes, and to our fathers, because we have sinned against thee. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, that's that confusion of face. And then also the confusion of face is also when you don't, like we were saying, you don't know your identity. Us, going off all this stuff is shameful unto us, man. You know, and confusion of face can also, like when you go into the word face, it could mean your identity. You know, so it's like you confused of your identity. You don't know your identity.
That's right. I'll jump into this Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. You know, even in this dude's video, you know, he jumped straight to verse 7, but we're going to get the complete context of it, you know. This is Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. It says, Now when these things were done, the princes came to me, saying, The people of Israel and the priests and the Levites have not separated themselves from the people of the lands, doing according to their abominations.
So they was joined to the people, man, following the heathen ways. All right? Doing according to their abominations, learning the ways of the heathens, man. They was being niggas. All right? Bitches, like today's terms, these bitches ain't shaking their ass. Niggas ain't got their pants hanging down to their fucking kneecaps. Long ass dreads, smoking blunts, sipping lean, etc., man. Just things outside of the scriptures, man. Typical American. All right? Back then, it'd be a typical Canaanite. Niggas was acting like a typical Canaanite.
It says, doing according to their abominations, even of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, and the Jebusites. So like the Jebusites, the Ammonites, the Moabites, the Egyptians, and the Amorites. For they have taken of their daughters for themselves and for their sons, so that the holy seed have mingled themselves with the people of those lands. Yea, the hand of the princes and rulers hath been cheap in the trespass.
Right, and that's one thing that God said in the title, like Israel didn't mingle. Hey, look, right here they was mingling, man. That's what Israel do, man. Especially going out spirit, because it as Israelites, man, you know, we in the hell, so it is what it is. But as Israelites, our forefathers, yes, they fucked heathen women. There's nothing wrong with that. But they will always make sure they had Israelite wives, man. These men right here, they was just dealing with heathens. Not only dealing with heathens, they let go of our heritage completely, man. Teaching their children to be Chinese, man.
All the idols, man. Because same thing what happened with Solomon, man. Solomon, his wife, he built the temple because he was soft on his woman, man. But in today's day, Jacob go to these different things for their women, man. All right? And that's the same thing what happened, man. They letting their women run the household. All right? And the woman teaching their children, all right, their language, and not even teaching the language of you got? Oh, okay. Khan. That's why you got Jake over there in Japan. They speaking what? Japanese, man. All right? Look like a nigga from America, man. Niggas in America, what? Speaking what? English. All right, our heritage got stripped from us, man. All right.
This is account in Nehemiah chapter 13 and verse 23. It says, In those days also saw I Jews that had married wives of Ashdod and of Ammon and of Moab. And their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod, and could not speak in the Jews' language, but according to the language of each people.
Right, so they was speaking the language of the other nations, for the heathen nations, man. Of their wives, man. So they wasn't even, so if they speak in the other language, you already know that they not serving Yahweh Shemal Shah. They teaching the customs of that nation to their child.
And not just their wives. Because you see, it wasn't just the men marrying these heathens either. All right? It was the women. Our women was dealing with these heathens. That's wickedness according to the law. It said to sell Israelite to a heathen is to deal hatefully with her. No, our women are not supposed to deal with heathen men. Those produce straight heathen children right there, man. You got certain women, certain men that only had daughters. That line's supposed to, you know, their inheritance go down to the door. They dealing with fucking heathens, man.
That's why Simeon and Levi, it says it's not lawful for him to have her, man. All right? Same thing. They got mad because the heathen took their sister. All right?
So it was all type of madness. That's the shame to us. It says where there is no hedge, the possession is spoiled. That was us being spoiled, man.
That was the sign of your nation being conquered, you know?
Yeah.
When another nation would come and deal with your woman, you know, because that's how nations dealt, man. All right, they here it is. It would be you wouldn't want to give your daughter to somebody of another nation. All right, and that's the same thing, man. So that shows that we were conquered, man. All right, that's what that was symbolized in some instances, man. But I'll go back to that Nehemiah.
Yeah, because you gave your daughter to another nation. That means that man, that kingdom is above your kingdom. That's you being subject to him. Because the Egyptian king sent King Solomon a wife. Because he was over him, man.
That's right.
You're right, sent him a wife. I didn't say his wife, did I say a wife?
He said, "Oh my God,
His daughter. That's fine.
It says Nehemiah chapter 13 and verse 24, and their children spake half in the speech of the Ashdod, and could not speak in the Jews' language, but according to the language of each people. And I contended with them, and cursed them, and smote certain of them, and plucked off their hair, and made them swear by the Most High, saying, Ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons, nor take their daughters unto your sons, or for yourselves. Did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things? Yet among many nations was there no king like him, who was beloved of his power, and the Most High made him king over all Israel. Nevertheless, even him did outlandish women cause to sin.
Right, outlandish women cause to sin, man. So him dealing with them wasn't a sin, for the record. It's him going serving them idols. All right? Many have had the word in first Edges for
Going out of their wits.
Going out of their wits for women. The water.
We can jump back to that. Ezra. This is Ezra chapter 9 and verse 2. It says, For they have taken of their daughters for themselves and for their sons, so that the holy seed have mingled themselves with the people of those lands. Yea, the hand of the princes and rulers hath been cheap in this trespass. And when I heard this thing, I rent my garment and my mantle, and plucked off the hair of my head and of my beard, and sat down astonied. Then were assembled unto me everyone that trembled at the words of the Most High of Israel, because of the transgression of those that had been carried away. And I sat astonied until the evening sacrifice. And at the evening sacrifice I arose up from my heaviness, and having rent my garment and my mantle, I fell upon my knees, and spread out my hands unto the Lord Yahweh my power, and said, O my power, I am ashamed and blushed to lift up my face to thee.
There you go, humbled. I'm ashamed and blushed. I'm humbled. For this wickedness, this trespass. That's confusion of face enough right there. We all dealing with that.
It says, I am ashamed and blushed to lift up my face to thee, my power. For our iniquities are increased over our head, and our trespass is grown up unto the heavens. Since the days of our fathers have we been in a great trespass unto this day, and for our iniquities have we, our kings and our priests, been delivered into the hands of the kings of the land, to the sword, to captivity, and to a spoil, and to confusion of face, as it is this day.
So that go to the definition of the confusion of face. All right? Our great trespass, for one, we acknowledge it, so we're ashamed in that alone. All right? Then it says, be given into captivity, to the sword, all right? Etc., man. That's confusion of face. And part of that, what came with that? Israel was mingled with those different nations. We had children with those different nations. All right? And in Ezra, it mentions only the men dealing with the heathens. If I'm not mistaken, only mentioned the men said for daughters for themselves. Right. So really, that confusion of face term goes to Israelites that look like heathens. All right? It's a different term for heathen like Israelite. That's a tear.
Go real quick on James 1:1. James, a servant of the Most High and of the Lord Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. Greetings. So that tells you right there, man, that the 12 tribes is scattered abroad the whole world, man. And when you got Jake around all these other heathen women, what you think they gonna do? They gonna pop it, you know what I'm saying? So of course you're gonna have, that's why you're gonna get a confusion of face. You know what I'm saying? A person that looked like another nation.
It's Psalms 44:11. Thou hast given us like sheep appointed for meat, and hast scattered us among the heathen. All right? So we've been scattered among the heathen. And what's gonna happen? Like the brother said, man, you're around all these heathen women, what you gonna start doing, man? You're gonna start popping them, man. You know? And Jake like variety, man.
Hey, because even like when you go into the history of the Moors, man, the Moors went over to Spain, Portugal, you know, said that what they changed the whole face of that land, because what they were killing the men, they were popping the women, man, and then what over time they became light skinned, even lighter skin complexion to the point to where they looked like straight up Edomites, man. You know, like even a prime example, we always bring out the example with Blake Griffin, man. All right, Blake Griffin, his father is a Levite, a so-called Haitian.
Dark as hell.
Dark as hell, you know, dark as hell. Then just in that one, just Blake Griffin himself, he's lighter tone, you know. I think he's got blue eyes. I think he's got a tint of blonde hair in him.
That red hair.
Red hair, yeah, red.
Real light, you know.
Yeah. And that's just one generation. And then you look at his son, because what, he slept with a so-called white woman. They had sex. That child came out blonde hair and blue eyes.
He like straight
Edomite. And are you gonna say that child is an Edomite just because of the outward appearance of him? Nah. All right. That would be a Levite, man. Even though he's got blonde hair and blue eyes and pale skin, man. It's that simple.
Because Numbers 1:18 tell you, man, you are what your father is, man. Not your mother. It's whoever the father. The father carries the seed.
Right.
So you are who your father is, man.
Right, because that guy's throwing that term mamzer out, which is fucking Yiddish. All right, which is Yiddish. All right, but you also, because he's looking at blue letter and he's not apt to teach, he doesn't understand the blue letter goes off. And you got to have the spirit of the Lord to know the blue letter is going off when it's not going off, man. It's the only way. You got to have the spirit of the Lord to understand anything, man.
Because it all goes down to prophecy, man. All right, we know through prophecy that what? We would be scattered amongst all these other nations and that we would look like them in particular instances, man. That's prophecy, man. There's certain things in the blue letter. All right, like for instance, you go into various scriptures and the blue letter will try and break it down, but it won't be according to prophecy, man. It cuts everything, man. But that was just
because the blue letter says a man that lays with a heathen woman, that child is a mamzer. Then it says a woman that lays with a heathen man, that child is a mamzer. No, one of those definitions is incorrect, and it's the first one. All right, a man laid with a heathen woman produces an Israelite child. Otherwise, King David wouldn't exist. Otherwise, the line at least to Yahweh Shah wouldn't exist. Okay? King Solomon's son married mother was an Ammonite. And that's who sat on the throne. That's the direct line Yahweh Shah comes to. You gonna say the name? His name? I can't remember his name. Rehoboam. God, water. Is that what you're gonna say?
No, I was just gonna ask you.
Go ahead, brother.
No. You already said it.
All right. And you can look up on Google Blue Letter Bible and find out that it goes off sometimes. They admit to it. But they do have a lot of truth in there. You got to have the spirit of discernment.
Yeah, you got to know how to eat the meat and spit out the bone.
That's right, man.
This is Numbers chapter 12, because he also went to Miriam. You know, he went into different occasions in the scriptures where Israelites were stricken with leprosy. And like the brother said, you're going to go into all these scriptures about how Israel was stricken with leprosy, and then read Isaiah talking about Israel would not be waxing pale no more. But that contradicts your whole thing, you know? But anyway, it's Numbers 12. I get straight to the point in verse 9. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against them, and he departed. And the cloud departed from off. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at 1. And Miriam, this Numbers 12:1. And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married. for he had married an Ethiopian woman. Why didn't the Lord come down on Moses right there? Why didn't he say, Aaron and Miriam, y'all right? Moses shouldn't have married either. Why? Because Moses continued with the customs of our forefathers, man.
Right.
You know? So the sin wasn't in marrying the heathen woman. The sin was in following their gods, man. But Moses stayed faithful, you see? But anyway, it says, and they said, hath the Lord indeed spoken only by Moses? Hath he not spoken also by us? And the Lord heard it. Because if that's the case, Moses' sons would have been considered mamzers.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have been considered a part of Israel, man. Hey, did not Jacob adopt Manasseh and Ephraim as his sons? According to the law, what these niggas saying, he couldn't have did that. Because Joseph's sons was born of an Egyptian woman. That would make them mamzers according to these guys' breakdown of the scriptures, man. So how is they a part of the 12? So that's how you know that these guys' doctrine don't make sense, and the brothers is right in what they said, man. You got to have discernment when you're going into the blue letter looking up these things. That's how we know the definition of a mamzer when it says of a Jewish father born of a heathen mother is incorrect, man. Because you are what your father are, you know?
Just real quick, because we said it, a couple times. It's Deuteronomy 7, and I'm starting 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. It's talking about these specific Hamites in chapter 7, verse 1.
Those Canaanites.
Not right, not all heathens, man. But nevertheless, even with these women, the point still remains the same. Keep going, right? But they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of Yahweh be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. The reasoning behind it was what, man? That they would make them serve other gods.
Yep.
And he said, so the Lord be angry. So the Lord actually don't care. His anger comes when you pop these women and then you serving their gods, your children learn their shit. That's what makes the Lord angry, man. And look, that's why Ephesians tell you and 1 Corinthians 12 tell you, and look, we teach what's pleasing to the Lord, man. We teach what's acceptable to the Lord. This Bible ain't for everybody, man. It's not a thing of boasting. It's just a thing of order. All right? Because the niggas like you, we still in this goddamn place. And we teach fucking lies. Let the fucking professionals, teach, man. Those that's made to profess to speak out this word, man. Amos 3 and 7, the prophets. This is very simple. And we need to get the fuck out of here. We trying to build and y'all destroying, well, y'all ain't destroying nothing. We building and y'all slowing down the process in a sense, man. Even though these offenses must happen. But damn. So I guess the spirit is really to just belittle you. Because it's got to happen this way. So I still said to belittle you.
They just playing
it's
their
funny
role.
how the spirit works. Right?
That's all they
Just
do.
a piece of shit. So, hey, Lord willing, really like.
So now I'm gonna jump down back to verse 9. It says, "And the anger of the Lord was kindled against them, who against Aaron and Miriam, man, for doing what? For speaking against Moses, right? Because there was no fault in Moses, man. It says, and the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned. Let her not be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed, when he cometh out of his mother's womb."
So she was literally waxed pale in the sense of physical appearance, a literal. All right.
Yep.
It's like,
Exactly how Esau Edom was born, according to Genesis, the 25th chapter. He came out red all over. That's why when he was born, Isaac said, I shall why, which is what? Wasted away is he, man.
Mm-hmm.
Which Aaron just gave the definition of that term, being lepers. It's verse 13. And Moses cried unto Yahweh, saying, Heal her now, O power, I beseech thee. And Yahweh said unto Moses, if her father had but spit in her face, should she not be ashamed 7 days? Let her be shut out from the camp 7 days, and after that, let her be received in again. So it shows what, man? That her appearance that she had, that leprous appearance, was what? A shame unto it, man. Which goes back to that Daniel 9 and 7, man. It's the totality of it. Matter of fact, I'm going to grab it. Hey, the scripture says wisdom is too high for a fool. It says what? The carnal man cannot receive the things of the spirit, man. Just like Yahweh Shah said, if I explain this to you carnal things, how can you understand spiritual things? Here it is, we're showing you carnal things with Blake Griffin and his father and his son. But yet you can't see it, man. Okay, because you can't receive the things of the spirit, you know. But this is Wisdom of Solomon, the 7th chapter, and the 22nd verse. It says, "For wisdom, which is the worker of all things, taught me. For when her is an understanding spirit, holy, one only, manifold." That's the key thing we're gonna focus on, man. This word, this wisdom, is manifold. So there's numerous ways to understand the confusion of face, man. A guy that looked just like me walking down the street with his pants off his ass with dreads on his head, yes, he is confusion of face as well. It's the totality of everything that the brothers just said within this lesson, man. You know? It says manifold, subtle, lively, clear, undefiled, plain, not subject to hurt, loving the thing that is good, quick, which cannot be letted, ready to do good, man. Yes, Sirach 39, and I believe it's the 24th verse says, man. You know, it says they are plain to all those that understand. So it's plain unto the holy, but there are stumbling blocks unto the wicked. So if you can't receive that it's all according to the seed, and that the seed can be planted in the soil, and it's just like when you look at nature, man. When you plant a seed in a certain soil in a certain area, it's different. It got different nutrients and different attributes that it might give to that seed. But if that grows and you take that same seed out of that you grew it with and plant it in another area, it's different nutrients and different attributes of that soil that's going to allow that seed to grow different colors, man. That's why you got red apples, yellow apples, green apples. You got apples with all 3 colors in it. Does that change because it's not an apple? So it's the same thing, man. It's the same thing with the seed of man. A woman is the soil. So when the seed get planted into that woman, hey, that seed gonna pick up what? The attributes of the soil that it was planted in, of the woman that it was planted in. I mean, it's all plain to those that understand, man.
Shit. We can get Jeremiah 12 in. I was going to speak still.
What is it, 12 and 9?
So right now. Jeremiah 12 and 7. I have forsaken my house, I have left my heritage. I have given the dearly beloved of my soul into the hand of my enemies. Lord took away his hedge.
Yep.
Because you know what's funny about the manifold, we mentioned a nigga that can look just like you. All right, dreads on his head, pants off his ass, dark skin as fuck. Hey, he can be an Edomite.
He can, yep.
That's part of the fucking fusion. We look like them, they like us, we all fucking mingle. Yep. The holy seed is just all fucked up right now, man. Right. Tares of the wheat. The angels gotta come separate us, man. This is fucking horrible, man. It's a disgrace, man. We the Israelites. But we're supposed to be separate. What makes us holy? What does the word holy mean? Separate. And Leviticus said, I love you, and that's why I'm severed. Yep. He severed us. He cut their ass off from us, man. Yep. We just all up in their shit. They in our shit. Gentrification is really happening now. Man, it's like my heritage is unto me as the lion of the forest. They cried out against me, therefore have I hated it.
Yeah, that's a part of that shame right there, man. Like the brother explained, the Lord removing that hedge, he giving us over to these heathens, you know? That's a part of that shame, man.
My heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. A speckled bird, what is a speckled bird, man? A bird of many colors.
Yeah, because when you go into that word speckled, the synonym it gives you, the definition it gives you is variegated. When you go to variegated, it varies. That's where the word varies come from, man. So when you go to variegated, man, it means what? You know?
Right.
It's a variety.
Most High loves variety, man. You know?
You look at nature. Look at nature. You know, you got different types of cats.
Yeah, he do love variety, but in this case, like not in this case. This one is a shame. Lord loved variety. He set up different nations. He wanted us to each be our own separate thing.
But even in that variety, because we was all different shades of brown. You know what I'm saying?
This is
Oh yeah, I understand. I understand.
Just bringing it back for this one along, so brothers, discernment to it.
Right.
What y'all saying is true. Because Lord, we always range, man. You can look at the Egyptian hieroglyphs. Pharaoh's holding us up. You got the three tallest Egyptian, or the three Hebrews, dark, medium brown, and light skin. That was always like that. So ain't no you light skin because your mama you that ain't got to do with shit, you idiot. We all ate like the shades of the ground, man.
That's right.
Different colors of the sand, we go from different shades, man.
Yep.
That's right.
We ain't Hamites, nigga. We ain't all just purple, black. Shit, the fuck?
And just even the point too, because like when you go into Jacob, it said that he was a plain man. Now that word plain is the Hebrew word tam, if I'm not mistaken. Thumb, the water. It's thumb. And one of the things that it says is that he was excellent in beauty. Now, one thing about the Israelites is that we were known even in the ancient world to be beautiful, glorious, and everything like that in that aspect. Now, shoot, even a part of that, man, mingling amongst these other nations, man, even some of that came off of us as people, man. So just showing the point that it became shameful even with us just being amongst all these other nations, man, losing certain characteristics that we had, and so on and so forth, man.
Right? Because you got Edomites, like you said, they're perfect. Hey, it's Israelites who look like Edomites but stand out. Why is that? Because of the way they dress, the way they act. Only Israelites can put them colors together like that, man. And even among their nation, they're hated for that, man. So they still going through the curses as well, man. Because them heathen nations are looking at him like, the fuck is this weirdo, man? All right? Well, he could dress, or he could do this, or he could do that. But you got singers that look like Edomites, but when they talk, they sound like Israelites, man. They voice, man. All right? You hear different songs from certain Edomites that look like Israelites who look like Edomites, and just off the voice, you would think it's a Jake, man.
Like Christina Aguilera.
God. That bitch got an Israelite strong voice, man.
She was young. She Northern Kingdom at that.
What's that? That broad from England, Adele, rolling in the deep. You know what I'm saying? Even her, man, that voice she got, man. You know, you can tell, man, just off the spirit, her voice, man. That's a nigga woman. You know.
What's the other name? Justin Timberlake.
Definitely.
He's definitely one of us. There's no question about that.
He prayed before he performed on stage. They get us heard to pray, man. That's Jake. It tells you in Romans 12, man, they have a zeal, but not according to knowledge. He took a whole blues band from Memphis on the world tour with him. They prayed before every show, man. They was in their folly, but it seemed like Jake sincere, not Esau, all weird chant. It was that Jake sincere, like, you know, they stupid, but it's sincere. You know, zeal, but not knowledgeable, you know. So we get Isaiah 29 there.
This is Isaiah chapter 29.
Oh, wait, did I finish this verse up? Slaki. This is Jeremiah 12:9. My heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come, ye assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour. That's the heat that's completely overtaking us, man. That's Hosea 8:8 said we're going to be amongst the Gentiles who swallowed up. They've gotten a course high above us, but now we mingle in with them, man.
It's Ezekiel, I'm going to start at 36 and 18. Before I poured out my fury upon them for blood, it said that they had shed upon the land for their idols wherewith they had polluted it. And I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries according to their way and according to their doings. I judged them. So we went to these other nations. We was living in these other nations, man. Among, like the scriptures say, let my outcast dwell with thee, O Moab, man. All right. When in Revelations, when the angels gather the elect from the four winds of the earth, man. That's through all the countries on the earth, man. So it's Israelites that's living among these nations today, man. But you guys are too simple to receive that. It's because the spirit ain't dealing with you.
And the curses follow them. You know. Now, it's a known fact. You know, and even I want to say Murph said it. He recently said it in a group meet the other day. He was talking to this Elamite cat, man. Or was it Shapaya? It might have been Shapaya. But it's a known fact throughout, throughout the world anyway, of how southern India is different from northern India, man. How those southern Indians, they got more spirit, they're more lively, than the northern Indians are, man, out there in India. Hey, well, that's a spiritual thing, man. There's a reason for that,
Untouchables. They got the group that Elam calls the Untouchables. That's Jake. And the Untouchables mean like they not supposed to marry their daughters. Their daughters are supposed to do what they get and nothing like that. You separate because they niggas.
And even this chick I used to train a while back, this older Filipino chick, I had asked her about the Negritos a while back, and the Negritos, they were like pretty much majority was like Israelites that were scattered amongst Asia, the Philippines, and in various areas like that. And I mentioned that to her, and then she started chuckling and laughing. And she was like, yeah, she was like, we even had a song growing up about him pretty much mocking him for having like big lips and everything like that, darker complexion, But what? They were Israelites, man. Those curses were following them. They were still a byword and a proverb even in those lands in the Philippines and all those other areas, man. So the curses, the scripture says that the curses will pursue thee and overtake thee wherever I would drive you, man.
It said it shall be upon thee. No, I was just saying it shall be upon thee for a sign and a wonder, man. So that's a sign that look, yep.
Big ass neon.
You know what I'm saying?
Same proverbs got worse than they
Yep.
that made them.
Yep.
The whole song about it. Big lip niggas.
Because even in that instance, like even in articles like back in like the 20s, even with the Negritos over in that area, they would show them, they would mock them in newspapers having big lips and big noses, man. But that was what even over there in the Philippines, man, in their history, man. So that lets you know that these curses are going to follow our people wherever they go, man. It doesn't change the outward appearance, man. That spirit, all right, that spirit that's within that person. Though the outward may look like a Moabite, may look like a so-called Chinese, Japanese, whatever the case may be, man, it's an Israelite, man. If their seed goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Yep. And just like how we're explaining the manifoldness of the scriptures, man. That's right. Hey, so just like how Israelites can look like these different heathens, these different heathens can look like Israelites, man. This is St. Matthew 13 and verse 24. You was holding it?
Matthew 13 and 30.
This is St. Matthew 13. I'm going to start at verse 24. It says, another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then hath it tares? He said unto them, an enemy hath done this. The servant said unto him, wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. It says, I'm going to jump down to verse 37. It says, he answered and said unto them, he that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom. Right? So now he's giving a breakdown of the parable that he just gave. The field is the world. So the seed, the good seed, which is the children of Israel, has been sown all over the world, man. It says, the field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom. But the tares are the children of the wicked one, which the wicked one is specifically Esau, Edom. But not only is Esau, Edom looking like Jake, but also the rest of these other nations as well, man.
Herod, his mother was an Israelite, man, and his father was an Edomite, man. All right, and they set him on the throne like he was an Israelite, man. But he was a damn heathen, man. All right, and that's why another reason why he wanted to kill Yahushua, man.
It's verse 39. It says, the enemy that sold them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels.
So the angels got to come and separate.
You
And
know?
when they separate, they're gonna throw the tares in the fire. For the record, it said that in that Matthew, right?
Yep.
So they get hit with nukes too, man. No matter how dark you look, no matter how pale you look, if you're an Israelite and you're doing this work, you're gonna get saved. If you're an Israelite, a heathen, whatever, you're not doing the work, you're gonna get destroyed. All right, it's very plain and simple, man. You guys make this complicated because you're running from the truth, man.
They can't handle the truth.
That's right. That's right. In fact, we get to Isaiah 29 because that's the deliverance. We should never be ashamed. We should never wax pale.
Yeah.
That's the Lord's gonna save us. Not gonna leave us down here like this, man. Y'all crazy. In fact, He's gonna give us double glory for all this hell and confusion we going through, all this shameless we going through. You go ahead, Slot. You had something?
Not Isaiah. Now, this is Isaiah chapter 29, verse 22. It says, "Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, who redeemed Abraham concerning the house of Jacob. Jacob shall not now be ashamed, neither shall his face now wax pale."
Right. So that wax pale means to be ashamed. To get your definition right in the verse. It means the Lord ain't gonna leave us down here in this fucked up state, man. All right, we're gonna get some precepts to prove it. Now, if you want to make it twofold because you just so stuck on the pale is pale, you're going to strong say white. All right. Hey, the only thing you say is the Lord will never let Israel completely return into looking like these heathens, man. But that pale really goes into being ashamed. All right.
And because even in that definition, I'm going to grab it right here, and he even read it. All right. It gives you another fold to it as well. All right. It says Isaiah chapter 29, verse 22. It says, now that word, now wax pale, it says, chawar. All right, it says to be white, grow pale. Now, what it goes into when you read the Genesis, Hebrew, Chaldee, Ursulaki, when you read the Strong's definition, it says to blanch as with shame, wax pale. All right, so it says to blanch as with shame. Even another point saying that what? That shame. It alludes to still bringing out that point that it can be symbolic for shame. And that's the context of it in the scripture, man.
Because Esau do got an agenda. They teach it to try to mix everything all up. They know it's wickedness. They call it I forgot what it's called, blended. All right, they call everybody's gonna be little brown babies. This was some bullshit I was watching a long time ago on TV, and it was a little Mindy project. And they was either might with a brown bitch. They're like, we're gonna all be different. There gonna be no black and white. We're gonna be all little brown babies. They want to mix everything up. So we ain't gonna wax pale in that sense either. Everybody ain't gonna be just turned to the physical confusion of face either. But we ain't gonna be dealing with none of this confusion of face stuff, man. Lord's gonna deliver us. That's the point of it. This is Isaiah 54, and I'm gonna start at verse 4. Fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed. So we ain't got nothing to worry about, man. All right, we ain't got nothing to fear. You. How about Shah is gonna deliver us out of this hellhole? You ain't gonna stay ashamed forever. Neither be thou confounded, which is another word for confused. For thou shalt not be put to shame, for thou shalt forget the shame of thy youth, and shalt not remember the reproach of thy widowhood anymore. But thy maker is thine husband. Yahweh of hosts is his name, and thy redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. The whole, it's like the power of the whole earth shall he be called. So Lord is going to come deliver us, man. For Yahweh have called thee as the woman forsaken and grieved the spirit. So while we're in this confused state, we forsake and grieve. None of these heathens deal with us. All right, everybody fucking hate us. All right, but the Lord is calling us, man. This is that time. You all want everybody want to be fucking something. This is how you be something, man. We the Israelites. Yeah, we fucked up and low right now, but we the Israelites. End of the day, we the best on the fucking planet, man. So just come into your heritage the right way, and just do according to the will of the Heavenly Father. That's it. For Yahweh hath called thee as a woman forsaken and grieved in spirit, and the wife of youth, when thou was refused, saith thy power. For a small moment have I forsaken thee, but with great mercies will I gather thee. The Lord is finna gather us, man. Great mercies, he says. All right, the Lord is, Isaiah 2nd chapter, he's going to establish the Mount of Israel above all the other mountains. The mountains is talking about nations. It said the Mountain of Israel. Let you know there's talking about the nations right there. For this, it's like, in a little wrath, I hear my face, and from thee for a moment, from thee for a moment, but with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on thee, saith Yahweh thy Redeemer. For this is as the waters of Noah unto me. For as I have sworn that the waters of Noah should no more go over the earth, so have I sworn that I would not be wroth with thee, nor rebuke thee. All right, so the Lord is coming to deliver us. All right, I am Yahweh, I change not. Therefore, you sons of Jacob are not consumed. We're not going to be completely just left and forsaken and ashamed forever, man. But that's the scripture in Psalms. The Lord will not keep wrath forever.
And it said, well, he's going to come wipe away tears from the eyes, man. That's wiping away that confusion. That's wiping away that shame, you know, wiping away that affliction, you know.
God, going back to Matthew 13 and 30, man, he coming back, he coming to separate us, man. Because in that day, man, we gonna know who is who. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna have all this confusion like we got now, man. That's right. The Lord is about to bring perfect order, man, and with no confusion, man. You know, it's gonna be perfect. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna dwell together. You know what I'm saying? It's about to be beautiful. You know.
This is Isaiah chapter 45, verse 17. It says, "But Israel shall be saved in the Lord Yahweh with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed, nor confounded world without end."
Everlasting salvation. Can you read that over, man? That's shit. Something like that, you just read over.
It says, "But Israel," Isaiah 45 and 17, "But Israel shall be saved in the Lord Yahweh with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed, nor confounded world without end."
So we should never wax pale, baby. Man, the Lord gonna save us.
And it said Israel, man. He say everybody. Man.
That's right. Israel is the world. Isaiah 40. All right. The Lord only is Isaiah 40, man. All right. Everybody else is less than nothing.
And then here it is, how you know these niggas is pieces of shit and they ain't worth not a goddamn thing, man. Here it is. The Lord says what, man? Do you look on men after the outward appearance? The Lord judges the heart, man. Why did the Lord say that? Why did he say that, man? You carnal ass niggas, man. So you will shut up the kingdom because of someone's outward appearance, man?
But surely his deeds show otherwise.
Wait, but then
that's some wicked shit, man.
But you say Job, the righteous Edomite.
Right.
So you just gonna go against us? You contradict your own doctrine at this point.
The nigga said y'all trying to make right. What did he say? Y'all trying to make Edomites righteous by saying that this and that. But yet you teach Job as Edomite though.
Niggas don't know what they believe in. Niggas just running motherfucking mouth.
They got their zeal.
Not according to knowledge.
Not according to knowledge.
And that's how you know, man, that the Lord Yahweh Shine ain't dealing with y'all, man. Y'all not being led by the Holy Spirit, man.
Yep.
Y'all niggas is just spewing out madness, man, out of your own belly, man. You prophesying deceit, man.
They led by emotions. They emotional ass niggas, man. Emotional than a hoe. Hey, look, here it is, man. These same niggas, man, that was back then. Talking about Paul bringing heathens into the temple. It's these same niggas, man.
God.
It's these same fuck ass niggas, man.
But y'all, in Revelations, y'all completely looked over Revelation, the 21st chapter, man. All right, because in the kingdom, it say that the names of the tribes is gonna be on the gates, man. So for every quarter, it's Israel, it's a Judah gonna have their side. Ephraim gonna have their side. All right, Issachar gonna have their side. Every tribe gonna have their side, man. Gonna have gates in their part of the city, man. You don't say it got a Moabite. Romans the 9th chapter, man. Who the covenant and the blessings go to, man? The Israelites. All right, but just because you look like you've been scattered to these other nations, what's that great innumerable number, man? Out of every nation.
And that's the spirit. That will make them have to go to one of the 12 gates. For them to get the salvation, they got to be one of the 12. So that in normal number that got saved from amongst the heathens would speak all tongues and languages had to be Israelites.
It's like if you have a key and you try and get in the house, and you ain't got the right key,
Right,
man.
you ain't getting that.
Hey, come on, saying. All right, can I bring it up? This is Revelation 21 and 12, and had a wall great and high. I'm gonna start up. All right, I'm gonna start at Revelation 21 and 10. All right, and he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain and showed me the great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from the Most High, having the glory of the Most High, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal. All right, so first he's seen the people, man. John, Revelation 21:1, when he's seen holy Jerusalem, all right, descending from heaven, he's seen the people, and then the Lord showed him the city, man. All right, it says, and had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels. So it was an angel on guard at every one of those gates. All right. It said, and the names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. All right. So the name on the gates was the name of the fucking Israelites, man. Of the Israelites, man. Not none of you heathens, man. Ain't no Edomite living in the Judite quarters, man. Because this is Judah's land, man. This is Judah's portion. Ain't no Hamite living amongst the Levites, man. That's the Levites portion, man.
Hey, when you read the book of Judith, right? Now it was a Ammonite whose name was Ahor.
Yeah.
Now he was high ranking in the Ammonite army.
Yeah.
So you gotta use the extrapolation. You have to think like he been in, you know what I'm saying, and living in Ammon, his family for a good little minute. But yet, when he seen the deliverance that the Lord did through Judith, man, guess what happened? He said he circumcised his foreflesh, man.
He had faith.
It said that he was joined with the house of Israel until that day. But in the law, it says what? An Ammonite and a Moabite shall not enter into the congregation. So what does that say about that man? That he was an Israelite, man. He was an Israelite. And using extrapolation, guess what? He looked like the Ammonites. But the people still accepted him. Why? Because our spirit beareth witness, man.
This is Romans 8:16. It says, the Spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High.
There it is, man. He seen that deliverance, man. He said, man, true, man, shit. His ass got circumcised. And in the book of Judith, it said that he dwelt amongst Israel until this day, which it meant that day, but even to this day, because his spirit, his lineage goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. So it's the same thing that's taking place today, man. Those Israelite foreigners are being called back no matter how they look.
Like 2:7. What is faith is a gift?
2:8.
2:8.
Ephesians 2:8.
God. All right. So this is Ephesians 2:8. All right. It says, for by grace you are saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is a gift of the Most High, man.
So if you believing in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, that was a gift that was given unto you from the Father. And that would make you what? A child of Abraham, because it says what? That those that are of faith are of the children of Abraham. So if you got this special gift of faith, it's because you out of the loins of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. That's the telltale sign. If you can understand the words that we're saying, if you understand this doctrine, you have faith in Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, the words that we're saying, you are Israelite. Simple as that, man.
The Israelites believe.
That's why 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter, man, hey, also to you confusion of faces brothers out there, man. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee, man. Fuck these niggas if they don't believe, man. Have faith in the Lord, and that the Lord guiding you and propelling you in the faith, man. You know?
I got a precept if I may. This is St. John chapter 10 and verse 27. It says, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. And there it is right there. The scripture just said what? That the Lord's sheep is going to hear his voice. So no matter if you're if you look like a so-called Ammonite or you look like a so-called Moabite, all right, if your spirit bear witness with these scriptures and you can hear these scriptures, then that's because you're the Lord's sheep, man.
That's it.
In the book of Matthew, the Lord said that blessed are your eyes because they see, blessed are your ears because they hear. All right, it says the disciples asked them, why you speak unto them in parables? And the Lord said, because it's given unto them to know the mysteries of the kingdom of the heaven, of the kingdom of heaven. So if there's an Israelite that's scattered amongst one of these other countries, one of these other nations, and they can hear this, They may look like an Ammonite or a Moabite or one of these other nations, but they could be a part of the elect. And you judging them, you talking shit about them, you're judging one of the Lord's sheep.
And here it is, these men that these niggas coming against and talk about, they calling upon the Lord in the pure Hebrew. They calling upon his name. Right. Malachi 1 says, what is dreadful among the heathen, man? But yet you got these niggas talking about Yah and Yahweh. Nigga, you can't even call on the Lord in his pure tongue. So how you know you ain't a heathen, nigga?
He probably is.
You probably a straight Edomite, man.
Right, yes. It's them niggas that you go on their page, they on everybody's comment board talking shit, but you go on their page, there's nothing on there. No content. Meanwhile, they're scoffing a brother that actually goes to camp. He may have lighter skin, all right, may look like a so-called white man, whatever it may be, all right, a confusion of face. He actually has works. He's out there on the highways and byways every week, putting up videos every week. And then you go on the other dude, the scoffer's page, ain't no content at all. Ain't nothing on there of him teaching. But you scoffing a man, all right, that may look like one of the other nations, but he's actually teaching and pushing for Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. So you're just a scoffer.
I got a precept, as the brother had mentioned, how what the Lord's name is dreadful among the heathen, man. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 3 and verse 34. It says, weigh thou therefore our wickedness now in the balance, and theirs also, meaning what? Weigh our wickedness being the nation of Israel and the wickedness of these other nations, man. It says, and theirs also that dwell in the world, and so shall thy name nowhere be found but in Israel.
That's it.
That's plain, man. You got these men throughout the four corners of the earth that's calling upon the true, holy, and powerful name of the Heavenly Father, and his only begotten Son's true, holy, and powerful name in the pure Hebrew, man. Hey, these are Israelites, man. They're doing the work. They're out there fighting for Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man.
And Salakia, and these brothers that look like confusion in the face, I said this is only for Israel. They look like heathens.
Yeah,
right,
and they saying this is only for Israel.
Yeah,
that's right.
The fuck are you niggas talking about? No discernment.
and they go against Esau too.
It got looking like an Edomite.
Yeah. Looking straight like Esau. Talking
You
about
going into slavery.
Yeah.
Cussing their ass out.
Cussing their ass
We gonna
clean
put you
out,
in
man.
chains. He gonna put his Edomite brother in chains? No, man.
God.
We gonna beat y'all with a rod of iron. Come on, man. I got one just on that point that you just mentioned, man. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 14. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High, for they are foolishness unto him. And that's these guys, man.
Yeah.
You saying that? You saying that Israelites? You saying that Judites gonna look like Moabites? They gonna look like Ammonites? That's what this guy is saying on the video, man. So you telling me that Judah, the so-called Negroes, is gonna look like so-called Chinese people? Yes, you're gonna have Judites that look like so-called Chinese people, man.
It's Levites, they're like Edomites. Blake Griffin's son is proof of that.
Yeah. Now what?
That's bugged up. And that scripture's heavy because on the manifold level of that, he says it's gonna come out. Can you read that over?
Come.
Crazy, yeah.
It says, but the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most
A
High.
heathen can't understand his word. All right, these men that look like Edomites, all right, that's teaching this word, calling on the name of Yahweh Shem Shai. It's impossible for them to be heathens, man. They wouldn't be able to endure this, man. They wouldn't be able to understand and teach us and stand stiffly for the name of the Lord, man. All right, this is a thing of faith.
It
Yahweh
says,
Shai teaches that, Salak.
it says, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them because they are spiritually discerned.
If I could just make a point, the brother just said it's a thing on faith, and we read it early in Ephesians that that faith coming from above. You know, that faith is a gift from the Heavenly Father. So how does an Edomite whom the Lord hates, how does he have faith? The only way he could get that faith would be from the Heavenly Father.
That's right.
You know, so that's showing you that he's not an Edomite. And like the brother quoted earlier in the book of Samuel, the Lord said that he doesn't look on the outward appearance. He's not looking at how tall a man is or how dark a man is. He's looking at the inward. He's looking at the spirit, you know?
Because the scripture says, he that believeth on me, as the scripture had said,
Mm-hmm.
out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. Now, you got Edomites, they act like they in the churches, man. But when you really start bringing out these scriptures, you see that they don't believe, man. We've had Edomites come up to the camp. Yeah, I believe in the Bible. You know, they going in, they acting like it. As soon as you bring out like 3-4 precepts, well, you know, I don't believe all parts of it. Well, I don't know about that. well, do you believe in the Bible or not? That shows you that they don't have faith. They don't have true faith, man.
Right.
They haven't been given that faith that's for deliverance, man.
And the spirit don't bear witness.
That's right.
Hey, because in the book of James, it says the devils believe and tremble.
Yeah.
Now they know there's a higher power. When you go into all these different nations, all these different nations know that there's a higher power that's instructing these things. But they actually they accredit it to what? The sun, the moon, this idol, you know, the
the universe, like Mother Nature.
So they know there's a higher power. And Esau even specifically knows that Yahweh exists, man. The elites of them, you know, they know that the Lord is the true power. They know that we are the chosen. That's why it speaks about the accuser of our brethren, man. See, Esau puts this bullshit out here and be like, see, they eating this, they doing this, you know. But the majority of these peons, these motherfuckers don't believe, man.
But they say he believe in trembling. What does he do? Say he's afraid he had durst fight. Esau is the one to fight against the Lord, though. He don't trust in the Lord. Trust me, we rely on his judgment. Esau think they can offset the Lord's judgment, man. His pride is deceiving. That's talking about the elites only. The rest of these Edomites is bugged out, man. They convinced themselves, like I said, the food. You have to say in his heart there's no God, man. A lot of them just become atheists because Esau's a foolish nation. The elites just happen to be Lucifer, man, that light bearer, the left-hand side. So they know because they deal with the left-hand side. The left-hand side has deceived them. The left-hand side works for the Lord.
This is Acts 1:8. Well, ye shall receive power after the Holy Ghost has come upon you, and ye shall be a witness unto me both in Jerusalem and in all Judea and in Samaria and unto the uttermost parts of the earth. All right, what's the uttermost parts of the earth? Australia. All right, you got brothers in Ghana, man. All right, and some of these brothers look like these other nations, man. All right, and that's that also is to help is for the other confusion of faith, man. So it can boost their faith, man. All right, well, I believe in this too. All right, like the scriptures say, their spirit bear without spirit, man, that we're the sons of the Most High, man.
Hey, they provided to the temple the body of the Lord. All right, and they have to have the apostles come to them to heal them, to bring them his truth. They have to come to the apostles, man. They did this straight off faith.
They've been gathered by the word.
Right, they've been straight off faith. I gotta hit this, man.
It says thy sons, but it says thy sons and thy daughters come from far whom thou sittest away. They come from the east to the west for what? Gathered by the word of the Holy One, man. The brother said, my sheep hear my voice. Whose voice? Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is what? The word.
It's Luke 7:1. Now, when he had ended all his sayings in the audience of the people, he entered Capernaum. And the certain centurion servant who was there to him was sick and ready to die. And when he heard of Yahweh Shai, he sent unto him the elders of the Jews, beseeching him that he would come and heal his servant. So this man sent the elders to come to Yahweh Shai. All right? And when they came to Yahweh Shai, they besought him instantly, saying that he was worthy for whom he should do this.
So the centurion, man, was worthy for Yahweh Shai to come heal his servant, man.
Yeah. So and they called him centurion. They separated him from being an Israelite, man. So he could have been an astronaut, looked like an Israelite. He could have been confusion of face. But either way, he was considered, or it seemed like a Roman. They called him a centurion.
Yeah.
But clearly, he is an Israelite one way or another.
Yep.
Whether he was dark or looked like a heathen.
Yep.
All right? They made a separation. But check it out. Yahweh Shai's going to make one too, man.
Just like Cornelius. It didn't specify what Cornelius looked like. You know?
But the vision that Peter had, it gave him unclean meats. So he looked like a Gentile, man. Well, it's like he had to be considered something unclean in one way or sense. You know, not even the first thing was slip the tongue. All right. That's when they started to go to the Gentiles, right? Right. So he was a Gentile one way or another.
Yeah, regardless if he looked like it or just him being in that state of mind.
Both of them is the confusion of faith.
Exactly.
That's the point of the lesson.
Yep.
All right. So this is Acts. It's like Luke 7 and 4. And when they came to Yahweh Shai, they saw him instantly saying that he was worthy for whom he should do this. We loveth our nation. He had built us a synagogue. Then Yahushua
that alone, he loveth our nation. This centurion loved the Israelites. Is that a characteristic of Esau Edom?
Right, like the brother said,
You know?
That's against nature. Then Yahushua, and that's spiritual. They building the synagogue now, you know. They're building the house of the Lord, his body. Then Yahushua went with them, and when he was now not far from the house, the centurion sent friends to him, saying unto him, Lord, trouble not thyself, for I am not worthy that thou shouldest enter under my roof. Wherefore neither thought I myself worthy to come unto thee. He has sincere fear and reverence. This is reverence right here, man. This is godly fear. But say in the word, faith, this is true faith, and my servant shall be healed. For I also am a man set under authority, having under me soldiers, and I say unto one, go, and he goeth. He understood the Lord's might and majesty. It says in Isaiah 26:10 that they will not, even the wicked, even in the land of rightness, they wouldn't behold the Lord's majesty. How much more? They can't get it down here. So this is a straight Israelite, man. They separated him from being a Jew when they called him a centurion, man.
And when you keep reading, even Yahushua was wooed.
We finna get that right here. This is the next verse. Hey, that's the spirit. For I also am a man set under authority, having under me soldiers, and I say unto one, go, and he goeth, and to another, come, and he cometh. And to my servant, do this, and he doeth it. When Yahushua heard these things, he marveled at him, and turned him about, and said unto the people that followed him, I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, no, not in Israel.
And that goes back, and that goes into what? The Deuteronomy 32nd chapter about provoking them to jealousy with them that's not a nation.
That's right.
What goes to second Ezra, the first chapter, I would give thy house to another people, man, that have not heard of me, but yet believe in the thing that I say, man. You know? Man, it's just beautiful, man, because it shows you the faith. It shows that these niggas, the Yehudi nigga, you know what I'm saying? It shows you these niggas, hey, man, these ones that look like heathens got more faith than your whole ass, man. But you ain't even got none, you know? That should be a shame to you.
Right. Well, it says, show me that, I'll show you my faith in my works. These men stand in the corners, man. They teach like the scriptures say to do. What your videos at teaching? I believe, therefore I speak. So clearly they Israelites, they building the body up. You trying to tear it down. You a heathen, nigga.
Right.
You a Canaan, you like Doom Canaanite, actually.
I got this, and this is Baruch chapter 2 verse 30. It says, "For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves." So it's plural, says in the land of their captivities, man. So not just here in America, but throughout all these other lands where our people have been scattered, man. It says that what? That they shall remember themselves. They're going to remember who they are. They might be in these other lands of captivities where they're serving their bondage, their punishment from Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But what? Through the word of the Holy One, pursuing the Baruch 5 and 5 that the brother quoted. All right, they're waking up, and what? They're remembering themselves. They're remembering, oh shit, I'm an Israelite. Just like the rest of you black niggas are over here saying all the tribes is black. Just like what? You are remembering yourselves, man. Going into the point that the brother was going into, man, hey, and you being provoked into jealousy, man. You seeing these men stand up for Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you not doing it. So what you gonna do? You gonna fight against them, man. All right, these men that are diligent in the work of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man, and you diligent in just scoffing, man. It says, "For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves, and shall know that I am the Lord their power, for I will give them an heart and ears to hear."
So it's the Lord that's doing it.
Exactly.
So who is you to tell a man that he can't believe because of the color of his skin, because of the way he looked, because of his outward appearance, man?
Where you at right now?
This is Baruch chapter 2 and verse 31.
The Lord said he's going to give us a heart and ears to hear, to understand his word, man. So who the fuck is you?
It says, verse 32, "And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name."
So all these brothers coming out with videos, man. You know, the Filipino brother, hey, shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshua, brother. I mean, come on, man.
Name in the name. It says, my name is dreadful among the heathen. They proclaimed it.
And that's second Ezra, the second chapter, man. It talks about them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Most High. All right, these men are proclaiming the true name of the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son boldly and stiffly, man. Going back into the point that the brother was making, and you niggas don't even, the Lord hasn't even manifested His name unto you, man. You talking all this shit, and then you just saying Yahuwah or Yahweh.
Niggas still talking this, still speaking Yiddish.
He gotta use,
Whoosh.
he gotta use the voiceover.
Yeah, the dude. Let's see how to pronounce it. Whoosh. Nigga, there ain't no O's to use in Hebrew, nigga.
This is John 7. I'm gonna start at 37. In the last day of that great day of the feast, Yahushua stood and cried, saying, if any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink. He that believeth on me, as the scriptures have said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water, man. And what they doing? These brothers are teaching the word, man. All right? And with all truth and sincerity, man. Calling on the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man. Preach feeding the flock, man. You other niggas ain't even feeding the flock. All right, we giving them food, y'all giving them plastic. All right?
I'm gonna read this, the brother posted this, Acts 13:46. The brother GMS Reverend his wolf. Then Paul and Barnabas waxed bold and said, it was necessary that the word of the Most High should first have been spoken to you. But sin he put it from you, and judge yourselves unworthy of everlasting life. Lo, we turn to the Gentiles. So what's that then? Did Paul go actually to some fucking heathens, man? He went to the Israelites that were scared amongst the heathens. All right? And a lot of them will look like heathens, man. All right?
I'll get this real quick one then. This is 1 John 5:19. It says, and we know that we are of the Most High, and the whole world lies in wickedness. So, man, when you hear this word, man, you're gonna hear this word and you're gonna draw to it. You know?
Those that's meant to.
Yeah, those that is meant to, the elect, you know what I'm saying? The Lord's people. They're gonna hear this word and they're gonna hear it and they're gonna hold on to it and endure it, you know. But the rest of the world, you know, the world of Israel and all these other heathens and nations, is not gonna hear it, man. They're gonna despise it. They're gonna try to come up against it, you know. But, go ahead. That was all. You know.
Because you had made a point about the dispersed. All right, this is John 7 and 35. It said, then said the Jews among themselves, whether will he go that we shall not find him? Will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles? All right, and when you click on the dispersed, it says diaspora, a scattering dispersion of Israelites dispersed among foreign nations.
Someone thought the brothers on the coming board. That's it.
All right, so with that, we want to give all praise and honor and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Barak Kodash.
double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And salutations to you, brothers, pushing this word with true sincerity and all charity. Shalom, the Father,
Shalom.